Hi there, and welcome to this 90-second live tech Q&A session where I'll be answering some of your tech-related questions. And you can post your questions in the YouTube comments, and I'll take them over. And we do this every Tuesday for about half an hour at 7 p.m. India time. And I can already see quite a few questions, so let's start this. And let me just refresh, guys. Give me a second. This YouTube tracker again failed, so I have to manually take the questions. So let's take them. And this is by Bitopen. He's asking me, how is the display on the Galaxy J5? The display is good. Both the J5 and the J7 have AMOLED display, which is a 720p display. They don't have what you say an auto brightness sensor, but the screen is pretty bright, and they have that what you say outdoor mode. So if you enable that, even in direct sunlight, they are easily visible. So nice display, I would say. Let's move to next one. This is by Bhavesh. He's asking Lenovo K3 or the Asus Zenfone 2. That is for rupees 12,999. Which would be a better choice? I would say the Zenfone 2 is a more fluid device. It will be a lot more fluid in operations, but the camera and the battery life are a little bit on the average side when you talk about the Zenfone 2. So if you're not strictly crazy about the camera, I would say the Zenfone 2 is a much better bet. Where is this? This is the K3 Note, and K3 Note is a okay device. I had a lot more expectations with this device, to be very frank, I would say. In fact, it's a decent device, I would say. Battery life is good. It's better than the Zenfone 2. Also, the camera is a lot better. In fact, I've already posted the camera review. The camera is a lot better than the Zenfone 2's camera. But in general performance, it's fine, I would say. I notice minor lag here and there in the UI, but when you do heavy stuff like gaming, etc., with heavy games, this K3 Note shows a little bit of lagginess. It looks like Lenovo used the same old GPU that was used on the A7000. The A7000 has just a 720p HD screen, whereas this K3 Note has a 1080p panel. Hence, it puts a lot more load on the GPU. So in heavy games, I feel that the K3 Note lags a bit. So if you're a sort of a gamer, then I would not suggest the K3 Note. In fact, the A7000 does better in gaming. So again, mixed things. If I would say if the camera and battery life are the most important thing, the K3 Note is better. But if you want the most fluid experience, the Zenfone 2 has a much more fluid experience. Also, another con that I have with this, I almost forgot, is I don't know why the Lenovo does this. The speaker is really weak on this one, and even that relates to the ringtones and whatever. If this phone is in another room, many times I was missing the calls. So the speaker is actually very below average, I would say, on the Zenfone 2. Sound via headphone out jack is fine, but speaker is again one more con that I have noticed. Also, yeah, one more thing. I'm just talking about the cons of the K3 Note because I was soon going to post a review. Another thing that I noticed with the K3 Note is in indoor lighting, the screen is fine and whatever. But in outdoor lighting and direct sunlight, even at max brightness, it is not easily visible. So that's one more con with the K3 Note. Anyways, let's move to the next question. This is by Future Logins. He's asking me if I'll be reviewing the Lenovo BT240 Bluetooth headphones. Sorry, I have no plans to review that, Bluetooth headset. Anyways, let's move to the next question. This is by Super Ramachandra. He's asking, this is interesting. He's asking, is the J7 better than the Zenfone 2 2GB RAM, Mi 4 or the Mi 4i? I actually would not recommend the Mi 4i. Just watch my review because that phone had a lot of issues, and Xiaomi released an update with the Mi 4i. Now it does not heat up that much, but I do notice a lot of lag on that phone. So strictly speaking, I'm not a big fan of Mi 4i. In fact, I would say the Mi 4, regular Mi 4 is a lot better. And in fact, I'm using the regular Mi 4 as my primary phone as of now. So don't go for the Mi 4. Regarding the J7, I simply cannot give a verdict as of now because If you guys don't know, yes, I have this unit, but this is going to go back to Samsung tomorrow. They want it back because this is not a retail unit, and they said that I should do my testing or whatever with the retail unit. So I'm going to wait for a retail unit when it comes out, because that will have the actual software and the firmware that most of you guys will get. So it's no point that I do my testing on preview unit. So in fact, I'm waiting for the J7 retail units to come. I don't know when it will come, maybe next week or something. But as of now, I would say I did use this unit for 3 days. It's been performing very well. In fact, yesterday only I posted a video. The camera is actually really nice on the J5 and the J7. That was a surprising thing, in fact. And overall performance is also nice. It did not exhibit any major heating, I would say. And I just played 2 games because I was busy. I played the Asphalt 8 and Dead Trigger 2 for about 20 minutes, and it ran it fine without any lag. So looks nice, but again, as I told you guys, like, I'm waiting for the actual retail unit that will be available. Maybe like next month early, sometime it's going to come, I don't know. And I want to do my testing on the actual retail unit. So let's move. This is by Ragnesh. He says, I'm fed up with this Windows laptop. Suggest me a good Apple laptop. Yes, there are a lot of Apple laptops available. It depends upon your need. I would say if you're a very casual user, don't do very heavy stuff like video editing, audio editing, 3D modeling and stuff. You can get away with the MacBook Air. That is very good. In fact, earlier I was using a MacBook Air. I would suggest that go with the 13-inch MacBook Air. That should be good. But the problem with the MacBook Air is that it uses a TFT screen. It's not an IPS grade screen. So the viewing angles are not good. So I would say if you are very conscious about the screen quality, then you can go with the 13-inch MacBook Pro that has a Retina screen. That's a very good machine, I would say. I'm personally using a 15-inch MacBook Pro for my needs, and I am actually started using this for about 2 weeks ago, and all my video editing, etc., everything is being done via that. In fact, this livecast, what do you say, live hangout, whatever we call this, is also being done via that, and I'm using this as my primary machine. But the thing is, the 15-inch MacBook Pro cost a little bit, it's on the higher side. So it depends. If your needs are not very powerful needs, like you need to do daily video editing, 3D modeling and stuff, you can go away with the 13-inch MacBook Pro, I would say, or even the MacBook Air. But if you do heavy stuff like video editing, 3D modeling, audio work, really serious stuff, then I would suggest that you look at the MacBook Pro. I'm actually using the MacBook Pro 15-inch. This is the 2014 edition that I bought because I feel in India what Apple did is stupidity. I hate Apple for that. Is now the new edition 2015 is also available, but they have jacked up the price like crazy. And the price difference between the 2014 edition and a 2015 edition for 15-inch, the basic one, was almost about 40,000. And what do you get extra for that 40,000? It's the same processor. They didn't change the main processor and the GPU. The only thing that changes is the trackpad. The new one has a force trackpad and just a faster SSD. And I simply could not justify paying 40,000 more for those features, because in other aspects it's exactly the same machine. It's using the same processor, same GPU, everything. So I went with the 2014 edition of the MacBook Pro 15-inch. I got it for 1,18,000, and I bought it from Amazon. And some people were asking me, do we get warranty if you buy from Amazon? Yes, you do get warranty. I got warranty. But only thing I had to do is I had to go to online Apple support and fill in all the details. And after about 2 hours, I got an email that they just needed me to send the proof of purchase. That is the receipt. I sent that, and at the end of the day, after 10 hours, I got that the warranty is valid. They gave me a warranty certificate. So the warranty was valid. Anyways, let's move. Okay. Soham is asking me about iPod 6th generation. Sorry, no idea, and I'm not going to review it. I feel like these days most of the smartphones have excellent MP3 players, so I have no plans of just reviewing a standalone MP3 player. Some of you are asking me about comparing a Mi 5 with other phones. The Mi 5 hasn't been released. We don't even know the specs of the Mi 5. So sorry about it. Don't want to speculate about the rumors. This is by Shushant, 1997. He says, I want to buy a smartphone under rupees 30,000. Can you please suggest me one? I can wait for a month. Okay, that's interesting. Now you can wait for a month. If you can wait for a month, some interesting phones are going to launch. Obviously, the OnePlus 2 is going to be launching very soon. The OnePlus one is still a decent device. Yes, it's not perfect. It has some issues and bugs, but I am sure that OnePlus 2 won't have that, and it will be a pretty powerful phone. So wait for that. Also, if you want to go the branded route, I heard strong rumors again, guys. I want to stress strong rumors that the Galaxy A8 will also be launching very soon in India, and it should be around, I don't know the price. It should be around the 30,000 mark. So you can wait for that, and you can also have a look at that. The A8 has some advanced features. It actually looks like the S6. It's bigger, 5.5 inches, but it has a fingerprint scanner and advanced stuff. So it would be interesting to see how Samsung prices it in India. Let's move. Kirti, this is Kirti, that which phone to buy under rupees 15,000? Dual SIM phone. I would say I'm not very happy with the dual SIM phone options under 15,000. I would not recommend the Mi 4. On paper, it looks very good. I would say have a look at the Zenfone 2. That is one phone that I like. Yes, no, again, it's not perfect. The battery life and camera are sort of average, but in general performance, the phone performed very well. But again, do remember that the second SIM is just 2G on the Zenfone 2. You can check out my Zenfone 2 review for details. The K3 Note is also a decent phone. But again, it's not without its flaws. If you're a sort of a gamer, heavy gamer, then I would not recommend the K3 Note. But apart from that, I feel this K3 Note is also a nice option. And if you want to go further down, I feel that for 8,000 rupees, though yes, it's a little bit bulky, the Redmi Note 4G should be a nice option. Also, again, not to forget this J7. Again, this is not a retail unit. This is a pre-production unit that I have. This is again a dual SIM device. Looks like a very good device for the price. What I really like is the camera performance. I haven't seen such good camera performance in mid to budget range devices. And overall, it is performing really well. So I would also suggest that look at the Galaxy J7. So let's move. Okay, this is by Amit Paul. This is an interesting question. Which one is better, the Xiaomi Mi 4 or the Galaxy J7? Guys, just understand that the Xiaomi Mi 4 is in a different class. This is a high-end handset. It has flagship specs like the S5 had, whereas the J7 sports mid-range specs. So in terms of specs and overall performance, the Mi 4 obviously goes ahead. It has advanced functionality like IR blaster, 3 gigs of RAM. But again, Mi 4 has its flaws. It does not have a micro SD card slot. And the biggest thing is it does not have 4G support also. Whereas, again, the J5 for what it is, for 15,000, you are getting a good deal. But again, it's not a high-end handset. You don't expect advanced features like IR blaster. It has 1.5 gigs of RAM. Also, some things typical of Samsung, they don't want to give in the mid-range devices, like it does not have auto brightness sensor, haptic feedback. So stuff like that is not there. So definitely the Mi 4 is a very advanced device compared to J7. But again, it comes down to personal preference. Some people don't like to go with Chinese brands like Xiaomi, etc. If you want to stick with the premium brands, then the J7 does offer good performance. But again, it's not without its flaws. Just yesterday, I posted a video about the quick overview about the J7. Just watch that and decide. Personally, for me, it would be the Mi 4 because this is a much superior device, I would say. But again, biggest flaw with the Mi 4, no 4G. So let's move. Deeptam Sarkar, is the heating issues of Zenfone solved via update? And are you going to review the Zolo Black. I'm not sure about the Zenfone 5 because I no longer have that. So not sure if the heating issues of Zenfone 5 are solved. But I wouldn't recommend the Zenfone 5 as of now. It's sort of outdated. Why do you even want to go with it? The battery life was pathetic. The speaker phone volume level was also pathetic. So why just go with the Zenfone 5? There are a lot better options than the Zenfone 5. In fact, I would say the Lenovo A7000 or even the Lenovo A7000 or even the Redmi Note 4G will be a better option than the Zenfone 5. And about Zolo Black, yes, I will try to review it. Let's see. Just follow me on Twitter. That is at Geekyranjit. You'll know if I'm going to review it or not. And again, guys, if you are on Twitter, do follow me on Twitter at Geekyranjit, because throughout the week I keep posting about interesting stuff. And you'll also know what upcoming videos I might be working on if you follow me on Twitter. Anyways, let's move. Pranay, when you'll be doing the camera review of the Galaxy J7? Again, guys, I will be waiting for the retail units to come, and I will be doing my review with the actual retail units, because these are the pre-production units, don't have the final firmware. So I just don't want to test stuff on this, because again, I have to do it when the retail unit comes. So no point. Heman Joshi, which is better, J5 or the A5 in the camera performance? Both actually have the same camera module. So I'm glad that Samsung did not differentiate this time. So both of them have a 13 megapixel rear-facing camera with f1.9 lens, and both of them have a 5 megapixel front-facing camera with front-facing LED flash. So both have same hardware. So the performance in the camera is also same with both the devices. This is, give me a second, guys. And some of you are asking me about any lag that I noticed on the J7. I actually did not notice any lag on the J7. And this J7 is actually using the new TouchWiz that we started to see with the Galaxy S6. And again, there is no lag even on the J7 while using. Samsung has really, I would say, remove a lot of bloatware with the new TouchWiz, and I'm glad to see that they are now putting that new TouchWiz even on their mid-range devices like this J5, J7, etc. And this one is actually very fluid. So I did not notice any lagginess or whatever till now on the J7. Okay, let's move. Okay, this is by Jyoti. Again, a similar question. He's asking, please suggest me the between the following: the Mi 4, the Mi 4i, forget about the Mi 4i, or the Galaxy J5, J7. Also, please suggest me good earphones between the 500 to 600 mark. I would say between the J5 and the J7, they are good devices. They have been performing well, but again, just wait. I'm waiting for the retail units to come and I'll do the testing. The camera looks actually really good on the J5 and the J7, but I feel the hardware is a lot better. Again, the Mi 4 still has a lot more premium hardware in terms of the SoC used, in terms of the sensors used, in terms of the actual hardware options. The Mi 4 obviously goes ahead. So it's the Mi 4 for me. So anyways, let's move to the next one. Some of you are asking me about the K3 Note. Again, I've already talking about the K3 Note a lot. So after this live broadcast is done, just check back this video again. It's an okay device, but to be very frank, with the K3 Note, I expected a lot more. There are some things that I don't like about the K3 Note. And it's bad that Lenovo is doing that again and again. Okay, we saw some of the issues earlier in the A6000, A7000. They should improve upon. But again, I would say the K3 Note is simply the Lenovo A7000, but now with a 1080p screen and improved camera. But due to the fact that it has a 1080p screen and they didn't upgrade to a powerful GPU, it has some issues. Particularly if you do gaming, then I would not recommend the K3 Note. And also, though they have bumped up the screen to 1080p, in indoor lighting and artificial lighting, it is fine, but in direct sunlight, it is simply not that bright in my opinion. Anyways, let's move. This is by Arpit Gupta. He says, I have a Samsung Galaxy S4 and please suggest me should I upgrade to Lollipop or not. Arpit, I would say just avoid a Lollipop on the S4 because from what I have heard, there are some issues and many people, again, I don't have the S4 right now to test it. Many people said that the experience was a lot better with KitKat. So just follow some forums. I no longer have the S4 to check it out. So check with the forums and see what I've heard. This people said they had better experience with KitKat on the S4. Okay, this is by Udit. He says, what are you expecting from OnePlus 2? Udit, you should watch the video that I posted about a week ago regarding my thoughts on the OnePlus 2. It's already on my channel. And second question he asks is Note 3 or the Galaxy S5? Looks no priority. Main usage is heavy gaming and watching movies. I would say if you are going to watch a lot of movies, then obviously the Note 3 will be a better option because it has a larger screen. And in fact, I would say the speaker is a little bit better on the Note 3. Whereas the problem with the S5 that I noticed is at max volume, due to the fact that it has that plastic dimpled back on the S5, the speaker vibrates a little bit. So it distorts the volume at maximum volume. That's not the case with the Note 3. So for multimedia experience, I would say the Note 3 is better. Anyways, let's move. This is King A, which is the best camera under 40,000. I think so you're talking about best camera phone and smartphone. I would say as of now, the choice is between the S6 and the LG4. Both of them have the top cameras as of now. But if you talk about the front-facing camera, I would say the front-facing camera is better on the S6. Whereas when we move to indoor conditions and low lighting situation, the LG G4 has a leg up. But in outdoor lighting conditions, again, the S6 produces sharper pictures. So again, go with the S6 or the LG G4 if camera is a very high priority to you. Okay, let's. This is where Sapnal, he's asking earphones for Redmi 2 under rupees 1500. Again, my still, I would suggest the Audio Technica CLR 100 that I reviewed 2-3 weeks ago. And lately I reviewed even like 3-4 other earphones that cost a lot more than this. But the sound quality that I get on this Audio Technica CLR 100, again, you can check out the review that I did. Really, I'm like amazed at the sound quality. Build quality is shitty. But in terms of sound, oh my God, this is amazing. I even have a Bose that I got, and I just hate that Bose after listening to these. So amazing sound quality for the price, but build quality is shitty. Again, check out my review for details. Some of you are asking me about specific Android devices getting Android update or not. Guys, do understand that these manufacturers don't share any information with me, particularly with me because I'm very vocal if I find flaws. So none of the manufacturers actually share any information with me. So I have no idea about that. Maybe if you directly contact them on Twitter, they might answer you. Anyways, let's move. This is Soham Chakrabarti is asking, is OnePlus One still worth buying? Yes, OnePlus One is still a very good phone. Last 5 days, I used this phone. Still, it's a nice phone. I flashed the CM12 on it, and it's been working great, I would say. I did not have major issues. Again, one thing I actually did not like with the OnePlus One when I reviewed it even earlier was the cellular call quality. I thought it was a software issue and will be fixed with CM future updates. Now with even the CM12, I would say call clarity hasn't improved a lot. Don't get me wrong, it's not bad call clarity. I test a lot of phones, so I'm very picky about cellular call quality because I take a lot of business calls and I'm a sucker for call quality. So it's good, but not great, I would say. Apart from that, it ran fine. It runs Android Lollipop very smoothly. It had no issues, very fluid. One thing, again, I did notice is sometimes I notice ghost touches with it. It happened only twice, but I did notice that. And again, in camera, the camera is just okay with the OnePlus. Obviously, yeah, I've already done the comparison between the Mi 4 and the OnePlus One. That I did long time ago, but still I feel that comparison is still very valid. But again, now the pricing info has changed. That's the only major thing. Oops. Let's move to the next question. Some of you are asking me, do I know Telugu? No, sorry, I don't know Telugu. Anyways, let's move to the next question. Some of you are asking me about the new Eureka Plus with updated specs. Guys, I have no idea. The U team did not contact me. I don't know if they want to send me a review. Right? Basically, the Eureka Plus is the same Eureka, but now with a 1080p screen. And what do you say? Now the border is metallic instead of plastic. So it'll be interesting to see how it handles it, because now with the 1080p screen, it will put a lot more load on the battery. And how would it do on the gaming? Because the classic example is the Lenovo K3 Note. If we compare the Lenovo A7000 and the K3 Note, both are almost exactly the same thing. The major difference with the K3 Note is now it has a 1080p display and improved camera. But due to the fact that now it has a 1080p display, the battery life has reduced around between 15 to 20% when you compare with the A7000. And also it affected in the gaming. So again, I don't want to comment without testing, but let's see how the Eureka Plus behaves. And I'm not sure at this point will I review it. I'm trying to review the Zolo Black because I got a lot of requests regarding the Zolo Black. Let's see. Again, follow me on Twitter at Geekyranjit. There I update about devices that I'm going to review and when whatnot. Anyways, let's refresh. Give me a second, guys. Okay, let me. Why do these questions just scroll away? I don't know. Again, some people are asking me about Mi 4 versus the Asus Zenfone. No way the Mi 4i. I just can't recommend that device. So just forget about the Mi 4i. The Mi 4, regular Mi 4 is a lot better device, trust me. This is by Anshul. He's asking, should I go with the HTC One M8 under 30,000? Yeah, the HTC One M8 was a fabulous device. If you have been following me, you might have recalled last year, I actually used the HTC One M8 for quite some time. I think so, almost 3 months. That's sort of a record for me. I generally don't use phones more than 2-3 weeks. That means I really like the HTC One M8. And I feel that phone is very good. It has a very good bit quality. The boom speakers were nice. The only thing is that the camera is now sort of average if we compare it with most other devices. The selfie camera is good, but the rear-facing camera is sort of okay. The exposure is all over the place. So don't get me wrong. It's not like it takes bad shot, but let's say 10 shots, if you take 6, 7 might come great, but rest 3, 4 might come just crazy because the exposure is just crazy with that. But if you're not too picky about the camera, I still feel that the HTC One M8 is an excellent device. It's running on the Snapdragon 801 chipset, and it's a fabulous device. When I used it, I loved it, I would say. It's one of those devices that you have used and you still remember. It was such a good device. Only thing is the camera, as I mentioned, slight on the average side as of now. Let's move to, this is by Anirudh Sengupta. He's asking, which is the best Android phone under rupees 6,000? Is Redmi 2 a good choice? Yes, I feel the Redmi 2, now that the price has reduced to 6,000, is a good choice. If you're a very tight budget and you can't exceed 6,000 rupees, then yes, I would say go with the Redmi 2. But as the Redmi 2 has just 1 gig of RAM, sometimes in multitasking, when you're switching between the apps, it'll take a second or two, a minor lag that you'll notice. But again, if you are okay with that, the camera is really good on the the Redmi 2, and you can certainly go with it. There were strong rumors that the Redmi 2 2 gig version might come out, but again, even if it comes out, it will cost a lot more. Again, I think so they might price it close to 7,000 rupees or 7,500 like the Lenovo A6000 Plus. Let's move. This is by Shannon Rigo. He says, I have a Nexus 5. Should I upgrade to the Nexus 6? I would say Nexus 6 biggest thing is check out in the store if you can handle that big size. Also, now Nexus 6 is sort of old. It's almost 8 months since it's been released, and if you wait for the next 3 months, obviously the next version of Nexus will come out, whatever they'll like to call it. God knows what will they call it. And there are strong rumors that already leaks are coming out with the next release of Nexus. So I would suggest that at this point, if I were you, I would wait. I won't jump to the Nexus 6. Let's move. This is by Srivastav. He's asking which power bank to buy under rupees 2000. Under rupees 2000, I would say I just reviewed two power banks under rupees 10,000. One was the Xiaomi power bank 10,400 mAh, and I would say it's a nice power bank. It's performing here. I have it somewhere. Yeah, I see. I have it somewhere. Yeah, it's there, and it's been performing fine. I use it. The thing is, it has just one USB port. But the nice thing with the Xiaomi power bank is it has pass-through charging. Whereas I also like the OnePlus power bank that has two USB ports, and actually that is the one that I keep in my laptop bag because it just has two USB ports. That way, when I'm traveling, etc., I can charge two devices simultaneously, and it charges the devices pretty fast. But the con with the OnePlus power bank is that it does not support pass-through charging, so you got to be aware of that. So I feel these two power banks are really good. I also have one more from Chiro, but I think so that's a little bit more on the expensive side. That is 3,500 or so. That is also one power bank that I use a lot. It's very sturdy, but on the expensive side. Let's move to next question. This is by Dennis. He says, if I use my old Nokia N8 charger for the Mi 4, it's a 5 volt, 1200 milliamp hour slow charger. You can definitely use it, no problems, because most of these new smartphones will only, even if let's say a particular device only accepts 1.5 amps, and if you put a 2 amp charger, it won't accept that. In fact, I always, almost all my devices, I charge with I have a charging cradle with which and it outputs 2 amps. And it has 7 ports. So because I test so many devices, I almost never use the charger that is supplied in the box. Only while I do testing how long it takes with the default charger, I use that. But apart from that, I just use the 2 amp charger that I have with the charging cradle. So you can easily charge it with the third party, power adapter, no problems. Let's move. Give me a second, guys. Again, some of you are asking me about Android. Again, Lollipop update for specific devices. Guys, again, can't answer them. No idea when. Okay, this is an interesting question. This is by Nafur. He says, why isn't Xiaomi available in Bangladesh? I think so that question should be redirected to Xiaomi. I don't think so they have launched yet in Bangladesh. Again, guys, no idea when they'll launch. Again, this is an interesting thing. This is a camera-related question. This is by Tejinder Singh. I haven't used this device, but let's take this. What are your thoughts on the newly released Sony RX100 Mark IV? Again, as I've told you, I haven't personally used it, but I have heard great things about the Sony RX100 Mark IV. One of my friends has the Mark III, and it's an amazing camera. Yes, they are pricey in India, pretty expensive in India. In fact, I would say a point and shoot. But if you're a sort of a person who does not like to carry bulky DSLRs and stuff, and smartphone camera is just not good enough for you, or there are limitations with the smartphone camera, and you know that, and you have the budget, then I would say in point and shoot, the Sony RX range is fabulous. I did test the first RX100 and the Mark III. One of my friend has it. So in fact, the Mark IV should also be really good. Now I heard that the Mark IV has 4K video recording, so should be very interesting. But again, in India, it will be a little bit on the pricey side. Many of the reviewers say that's one of the best point and shoot cameras out there, the RX series from Sony. Anyways, let's move to next question. This is by Shan. He says, I'm planning to buy the Galaxy S6. Should I wait for the OnePlus 2? I would suggest just wait for the OnePlus 2 because we'll get all the details on 27th or 28th of July. So just make it, it's just a week. You know all the details about the OnePlus 2, when it's going to launch, what pricing, etc. Then you can decide. If you, let's say you don't like the pricing, or they're not going to launch soon in India, then you can go with the Galaxy S6. But if I were you, I would just wait and see what they are offering and then decide. Okay, this is a nice question. This is by Anirudh. He says, is it worth buying the Moto X second generation at the reduced price of 21,000? Yes, I feel the Moto X second generation is a very good device. And now for the low price of 21,000, I would say it is a very good phone. And you can check out my review. I really like the Moto X 2000 second gen. But again, it's not perfect. Camera is sort of on the average side, and also the battery life is decent. I would say it's not extraordinary. Don't expect battery life like the Mi 4 or the OnePlus. Decent battery life one day. But one con that I have noticed, I would say I haven't personally experienced it because I'm very careful with my phones. I've heard that if the screen cracks on the Moto X second generation, at least in India, Motorola is charging a bomb to replace it. In fact, some of the users said me that Motorola quoted them 20,000 for screen replacement. So if you're going to buy the Moto X second generation, and if you're sort of a clumsy person, then I would not recommend you that. And if you are a careless person and you like the Moto X second generation, get a case, I would say, because 20,000 is just crazy amount for a screen replacement, I would say. But apart from that, I like the Moto X. Still, it's a very good device. Snapdragon 801 performance is really nice. I've already posted the in-depth review for that. You can check out that for details. This is by Sheldon Fernandez. He says, suggest me phones between rupees 30,000 and 40,000. Again, I would say still the OnePlus One, though, yeah, it is a lot less. You can consider that. Obviously, the OnePlus 2 will come out. It will be around that price. It will be in your range. You can also look at the Galaxy A8 that is going to soon launch in India. What else? You also have the Galaxy S6 now that is available for about 39,000, and so that's also a really nice price. You can also check the LG G4 if you really want a dual SIM device. You can go with the LG G4. There are some issues with the LG G4. Just watch my review. Not perfect, but again, I feel for a high-end dual SIM device, the LG G4 is a perfect choice as of now. So these are some of my suggestions. So guys, it's been over 30 minutes now, so I will be ending this session. And again, we do this every Tuesdays at 7 p.m. India time. So again, I hope that you'll be able to join me again next week. And again, if you're on Twitter, do follow me on Twitter at Geekyranjit. Thanks for watching again, and I hope to see you next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.